first thing I have to do is crawl up on the stage. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. It's a nice crowd. All right. My first poem is going to be over almost before it starts, just to warn you. It was as if she held up a mirror, and I, caught fast in hunger's eyes, sank to my knees. As if she whispered then, "What you trust will not obsess you." And this, unspoken, I see scars writ, pretty from here. Why does the heart hurt so much? There is a thin line. There is a thin line, they say, which hovers between courage and folly. When I was stoic arrived on the heels of when I was not stoic. If I want nothing, if I want less than that, I keep rapture from firing the branding iron for my demons. You, lovely lady and complex, pull me close. Drink in the angles of my neck, my collarbone, slide your hands down, get them under my shirt, stop, look up. Can I touch you? Anywhere? Perhaps we are the sum of our first hope. What relentlessly comes next, now, a puzzle most itself in pieces. I disguise myself as a bald girl who no longer feels too much, and sweet caution comes like an axe to all this. Her fingers sear exquisite edges along my breast. Is this quiet drowning? I'm scared. But there are ways of falling that feel like flying. Such are the ways of my want. Bear with me. I put too much punctuation in this. I'm not sure I'll make it. Sorrow lands like a pitchfork. Love, gone, why have you forsaken me? Behold, my hunger reaches for any small thing that might feed it. For God's sake, mine, unloose these shackles. Blind eye, blind, clumsy living, take pity on grief, fresher than water the summer I knew her, or visit me with quiet death. O solace, quench this night with your kind hands. O nun, O poet, O still heart, solace, make a small place for me. Okay, why so sad, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Simple plots for revenge. I hoard the jagged reminders underneath my clothes. 7 scars, which I rarely look at or touch. My urges are not extravagant or even graceful. I merely get caught listening for the apology. It has yet to arrive. So as I watch my betrayer lurk just out of reach, that yellow-bellied huckster working dumb luck, there I entune my resolve. A switchblade is not necessarily enough. In rotten fact, bleeding is not enough. The injury would be beautiful and thus useless. No, this revenge should be ugly, ugly like the edges of my scars. I bet the whole ranch on a pretty little filly. I wanted her to bring it on home. Or, range grass grows greenest where sun and dirt collide, and now, like a naked tree stretched between water and wind, I mark my time in silence. If I unyoked gravity, if I swung a hammer, her flesh would go soft, not her terror. Each thud an unholy alliance between my pain and hers, the crux descending when I hear that woman exhale for the last time while she chokes and prays for air. There was a sorrow she did not say, and here was my sorrow. She did not stay. Oh no, that ornery filly headed for open pasture. My instinct? To follow on foot. The sum of x minus y can never be 0. Time over distance moves the horizon itself. The red sun of rage never sets. I curl like a rattlesnake yanked aloft by its tail, a dance now gone frantic, steel nerves cold. My desolate weapon, bent fangs, venom darts. Over and over I lurch to strike bone. Over and over I writhe in thin air, her elbow the fulcrum, her fist the noose. I cannot find her. She will not let me go. There are 7 scars on my heart where the cotton gauze of veins and muscle ripped to powder. It took eternity to stop the leaks. Love isn't blind. Worse, it's a liar. It dangles a lady before one as if one were the only one. You will have all things by tomorrow. Liar. Dying hope swells like wet wood. It refuses to break unless broken. Splinters pierce odd places, darken under the skin, remind me. When everything is taut, when the noose tightens like skin over knuckles, yearning stalks me. But tomorrow, sly devil and naturally enough, is immortal. I am not. A single rock can change the run of a river. What bleeds eventually becomes numb. The ragged ledges where skin grafted itself over yawning cuts stand witness. I almost died for it. I could have killed for it. I could have. I did not. The distance between one thing and another will never be zero. Unrequited is always the risk. It was merciless luster. I trusted it. I didn't know I couldn't. My revenge, futile. In the end, the last word of hope, in the end, blood rusts. My yearning cannot stop it. Can not stop it. Box. Sorry. That sounds like my phone, but I didn't bring it just so it wouldn't do that. Box. You say there are people who can take a knife to a flat piece of cardboard, render that rectangle into a box with a lid. The most elegant boxes don't need glue. They do need intricate cuts and bending. Now tell me, what unlikely lines have been drawn in from your edges? And even riskier, where do you fold? This, like water, takes the shape of its container. And this is what it looks like, by the way. I love doing stuff like that. Possibly masochistic. This, like water, takes the shape of its container. I on the floor, fumbling with my bootlaces and my words. You in a chair across the room. You with no idea what was coming. I don't mean to frighten you, but I could fall for you, you know. I didn't look. A tangled blur, a violinist in full bow, you swooped low, slid towards me, stopped where your shoulder caught mine. Side by side, ear to ear, legs going in opposite directions, we were 2 hooks, 2 commas facing an X, a silent X. And as we hinged, my shoulders rose with yours, my heart like a hand to a mirror. Okay, I'm going to drag you through one more. I want to thank Adobe Books, first of all, for letting me stand up here and for hosting this thing. I'd like to thank Sarah. Where'd you go? Yep. For inviting me. I'm totally honored that you invited me. Thank you so much. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming. It's awesome. If this were a color, it might be red. This one isn't short, by the way. I wrote you a letter last night about need because the wildflowers are coming up in the grass. Because I have confused love with longing. This room smells brittle. Hyacinth, oh sorrow, calendula, oh suffering, out a window, awkward, I look to daisies as if these alone could lessen the pain of rapture, and today the gray clouds look undone. Look forgotten like the drift of my life against a slate sky that melts into April's body, leaves the scent of small bursts of blossom behind, filling the air with humility, and I breathe it. The language of flowers is not a dead language. I return over and over to the fabric, lace, mystery they bring, not because I've been ravished by these ladies, which I have, but because these days of no sun demand devotedness, as if devotedness were the thing behind our want for quickening desire and its delicate hand. What touch does not reveal can be seen with each slip of petals, and as when a poet joins mercy to beauty, I do nothing much and am moved. Behold, petals cascade like grace notes from a harp, and I have not yet brought you anything that matters. I have not yet brought you my heart undone, nor been naked beside you, petal soft as my daring, that bewildering and crimson yes. Of late, I learned an individual is a dividual which cannot be divided. How is that possible, one undivided, when choices part the waters of certainty every time we wake? 1 billion seconds is 32 years, 220 million, 7. Yet the line is not our frame of reference. We watch best from the edges. One need not come to the end of 7 long years waiting for the unforgettable star when one believes that 7 years of rare occasions shine down. That these days come fast upon the centrifugal pouring of moonlight means not much, if anything, to our sun, but almost everything to me. To wait here, then, is a matter of luxury. Indeed, digging my fingers deep in loose dirt presses all the planet into my palm, she whispering, what is sheltered will wither. I opened you, and I can close you down. Quiet, but quietly now, ask, if one hand holds something beautiful, must the other hold something else? Impressive world, oh horrible world, bring light and unfurl the exact number of violets that binds us, bringing to mind these marvels, silentnesses that have swept my breath away. I don't think of sound, I think of you, and how there are no buildings high enough here to see you, how we are often weaker than our devotion, weaker than we mean to be. Rather, imagine a breathless echo for all its accelerating pageantry. Let it be no secret, the hollow sound is mine.